foreign delegate.
My name is Samyukta. My role is Minister of Education.
Hi, my name is Latika. I'm a member of Parliament.
I'm Akshaya, Minister of Agriculture.
My name is Exibjit. I'm going to be an MP in Youth Parliament.
நான் வந்து உங்களுக்கு பார்த்தாலே தெரிஞ்சிருக்கும் யார் சரி இவர் செக்ரட்டரி ஜெனரல் இவர் வெளிநாட்டிலேருந்து பயணம் செஞ்சு நம்மளோட பார்லிமெண்ட்டில் பார்க்குறதா பின்னாடி இருக்க இவர் வந்துருக்காரு.
Basically, I don't know Tamil or Indian languages. Minister of Youth Affairs. Yuva Mandal.
இது மாமலே
எனக்கு எம்பி சார் எம்பி 30
MP ruling party 30 number இல்ல 22
0 hour question.
MP, supplementary question.
Speaker, private member. Leader of opposition.
Speaker, Private Member, Minister of Health and Family Welfare.
MP,
Published on notification number CSR 58E in Gazette of India dated 29 January 2021.
Nityanand MP.
My name is Ritin, foreign delegate.
Honorable members, Honorable the Speaker.
Honorable members, I welcome you all to the 33rd session of Youth Parliament and hope today's session will be fruitful. Members to take oath of affirmation. Secretary General, please.
Shri Jarish, who stands elected from Tirunelveli constituency of Tamil Nadu, will now take the oath or affirmation. Jarish, please. Sir, do you want to take oath or affirmation?
Oath, please.
Sir, in which language would you like to take the oath?
In Tamil, please. இளைஞர் பாராளுமன்றத்தின் கீழ் சபை உறுப்பினராக தேர்ந்தெடுக்கப்பட்டுள்ள ஜெரீஷ் எனும் நான் சட்ட முறைப்படி நிறுவப்பெற்றுள்ள இந்திய அரசியலமைப்பு சட்டத்தில் உண்மையான நம்பிக்கையும் பற்றுறுதியும் கொண்டிருப்பேன் என்றும் இந்திய நாட்டின் இறையாண்மையையும் ஒருமைப்பாட்டையும் நிறுத்துவேன் என்றும் நான் மேற்கொள்ள இருக்கும் கடமையை நேர்மையுடன் நிறைவேற்றுவேன் என்றும் கடவுளறிய உறுதி கூறுகிறேன்.
We are delighted to welcome you.
Shri Sri Ram, who stands elected from Ujjain constituency of Madhya Pradesh, will now take the oath or affirmation. Sri Ram, please. Sir, do you want to take oath or affirmation?
Affirmation please.
Sir, in which language would you like to take the affirmation?
In English please. I, Sri Ram, having been elected a member of Youth Parliament, solemnly affirm that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of India as by law established, that I will uphold the sovereignty and integrity of India, and I will faithfully discharge the duty upon which I am about to enter.
We are delighted to welcome you. Honorable members, as we meet today, it is my sad duty to inform the House the demise of devoted Gandhian Shri P. Gopinath Nair on 8 July at the age of 100. He spent his life disseminating the ideas of Mahatma Gandhi and Gandhian way of life. He was the link between the present age and the era of freedom struggle. It is a moment of deep sorrow, and we pray for the dear departed soul. May his soul rest in peace and quiet.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय जी, मैं श्रीमान गोपीनाथ नायर जी को अपनी श्रद्धांजलि अर्पित करने के लिए उपस्थित हूँ। श्री गोपीनाथ नायर का जन्म 1922 में नैया चिंगरा में हुआ था। उन्होंने शांति निकेतन में अपनी शिक्षा प्राप्त की, जिसका उनके जीवन पर बहुत प्रभाव पड़ा। उनके मृत्यु के द्वारा हमने गांधीवादी आंदोलनों को प्रेरणा देने वाले एक आदर्श व्यक्तित्व को खो दिया है। महोदय, मैं इस अवसर पर शोक संतप्त परिवार के प्रति अपनी गहरे संवेदना को व्यक्त करती हूँ।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय जी, मैं श्रीमान गोपीनाथ नायर जी को अपनी हार्दिक श्रद्धांजलि देने के लिए उपस्थित हूँ। गोपीनाथ नायर ने कई वर्षों तक गांधी जी के सेवाग्राम आश्रम में अध्यक्ष के रूप में कार्य करते रहे। भारत सरकार ने उन्हें समाज में उनके योगदान के लिए 2016 में 14 सर्वोच्च नागरिक सम्मान पद्मश्री से सम्मानित किया। उनकी आत्मा को शांति मिले।
Now, the house may stand in silence for a while to express our deep sorrow. Secretary General to convey the message of condolence to the bereaved family.
Yes, madam.
Prime Minister to introduce new ministers.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय जी, मुझे आपको और आपके माध्यम से संसद को तथा मेरे सहयोगियों को नवनिर्वाचित मंत्रियों से मिलवाने में बेहद खुशी महसूस हो रही है। श्रीमती अक्षय कृषि मंत्री और श्री तरुण कुमार पर्यटन मंत्री। धन्यवाद महोदय।
Now, the question now begins. Question number 101, Srimati Vashika.
Honorable Speaker Madam, whether the government has taken any steps to tackle the problem in education like learning gaps and decline of quality of education after the COVID-19 pandemic. If so, the details thereof.
Minister of Education, Srimati Samyukta, please.
Honorable Speaker Madam, our government is fully aware that Indian youngsters from rural and other weaker segments have missed about 2 years of formal education. In an attempt to compensate for the lack of quality education and for fulfilling the learning gaps arise during the pandemic, following schemes have been initiated. 1. The One Class, One TV channel program of PM Vidya will be expanded from 12 channels to 200 TV channels for all the states in all languages. 2. Action plan for the involvement of parents and guardians in fulfilling the learning gaps will be initiated. At school levels, the 4 goals will be fulfilled. A. Identification of learning gaps. B. Health and well-being of a learner. C. Effective communication development. And D. Involvement of students in school activities so that the obstacle like learning gap, skill gap and communication gap faced by the student will be removed. Another aspect worth mentioning is the launching of National Tele Mental Health Program, that is E-Manas. Under this program, a cluster of well-trained counselors, psychiatrists and social workers will be providing counseling for the students who are facing psychological and physical stress. Madam, our government has also planned an action model keeping the guidelines of NEP 2020. Some of its components are transformation of school infrastructure, training teachers and principals for their professional growth, and finally to ensure that all children learn to read, write and to do basic mathematics during their teaching learning activities in the schools. That is Nipun Bharat. Thank you, madam.
Srimati Vashika, do you have any supplementary?
Yes, madam. Whether there is an increase in school dropout numbers in view of the outbreak of COVID-19. So, the details thereof.
Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, the dropout rate is continuously decreasing in the country at all levels of school education. In fact, in order to make this dropout student join the mainstream education sector, our ministry has implemented various schemes through upskilling and reskilling programs. The dropout students will be given an opportunity to enter and complete the 10th and 12th education, which will make them qualified in government schemes. One such example is Agnipath. Under this scheme, youngsters between the age 17 to 23 will be given a chance to enter the Indian Armed Force, where they can serve for 4 years. Upon completion of 4 years, a Seva Nidhi package of 11 to 12 lakhs will be given to the Agnivis, and they can go ahead with their career options or for further studies, and they will be given preferences in government jobs. Thank you, Madam.
Shrimati Hebina.
Speaker, Madam, future is shaped by higher education, whether ROI is trying to degrade the education system.
Members, please maintain the decorum of the house.
By giving encouraging jobs after 10th and 12th through schemes such as Agnipath and Skill Hub. Thank you, Madam.
Minister, please.
Madam Speaker, the entry of 10th and 12th class passed out population in government jobs is not to reduce or degrade the education system of the country, but done with an intention to make the government sector more youthful and fitter. Member, please pay attention. More youthful and fitter. And to attract the youth towards education, which is as per the National Education Policy 2020. Thank you, Madam.
Shri Sibijit.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय जी, क्या सरकार ने छात्रों के लिए विशेष रूप से स्कूल छोड़ने वाले लड़कियों के नामांकन के लिए कोई प्रावधान तैयार किया है? धन्यवाद महोदय जी।
Minister, please.
आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदया जी, शिक्षा मंत्रालय समग्र शिक्षा की योजना लागू कर रहा है, जो एक केंद्र प्रायोजित योजना है, जिसमें पड़ोस में स्कूल खोलना, कक्षा 8 तक की लड़कियों के लिए मुफ्त पाठ्य पुस्तकों और भर्ती का प्रावधान करना शामिल है। सभी विद्यालयों में छात्र और छात्राओं के लिए अलग अलग शौचालय का प्रावधान करना शामिल है। साथ ही समग्र शिक्षा योजना के तहत शैक्षिक रूप से पिछड़े क्षेत्रों में स्वीकृत कस्तूरबा गांधी बालिका विद्यालय का प्रावधान है। 10 मार्च 2022 तक कुल 5018 कस्तूरबा गांधी बालिका विद्यालय क्रियाशील है, जिसमें 6,65,000 लड़कियों का नामांकन हुआ है। इसके अतिरिक्त सभी राज्य और केंद्र शासित प्रदेशों से उन लड़कियों को सक्रिय रूप से ट्रैक करने के लिए कहा है जो स्कूल छोड़ चुकी हैं। धन्यवाद महोदया।
No more supplementary, please. Question number 102. Shrimati Sonali Kumari.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय जी, युवा मामलों और खेल मंत्री, आप हमें यह बताएं कि क्या विभिन्न राज्यों में उनकी संस्कृति और परंपरा के अनुसार स्वदेशी खेल खेले जा रहे हैं? क्योंकि अब समय आ गया है कि भूले हुए स्वदेशी खेलों को देश में वापस लाया जाए और उन्हें वर्तमान पीढ़ी से परिचित कराया जाए। यदि हाँ, तो देश में स्वदेशी खेलों को बढ़ावा देने के लिए सरकार ने क्या कदम उठाए हैं? धन्यवाद महोदय जी।
Minister of Youth Affairs and Sports, Shri Bala Mukesh, please.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय जी, विभिन्न राज्यों में उनकी संस्कृति और परंपरा के अनुसार कई स्वदेशी खेल खेले जा रहे हैं। खेल राज्य का मुख्य विषय होने के कारण देश में स्वदेशी खेलों का विकास और प्रचार के लिए विशेष प्रशिक्षण कार्यक्रम आयोजित करने की जिम्मेदारी मुख्य रूप से राज्य सरकार के पास है। हमारा मंत्रालय खेलो इंडिया नेशनल प्रोग्राम फॉर डेवलपमेंट ऑफ स्पोर्ट्स योजना चलाता है, जिसमें से एक घटक है ग्रामीण और स्वदेशी खेलों का प्रचार, जो विशेष रूप से विकास के लिए समर्पित है। धन्यवाद महोदया।
Shrimati Sonali Kumari, do you have any supplementary?
Yes, madam. Madam Speaker, whether the government proposes to conduct any special training program for the development and promotion of the traditional sports. If so, whether any review or evaluation has been done for the development of sports at the grassroots level. And if so, the details thereof. Thank you, madam.
Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, yes, our ministry implements various sports promotional schemes across the country through the Sports Authority of India, whereby services of expert coaches, sports equipment, boarding and lodging, sports kit, competition exposure, educational expenses, medical insurance, and stipend as per the approved scheme are provided. This scheme also includes traditional Indian games like kabaddi, kho-kho, wrestling, archery, etc. Additionally, with a view to promote other traditional games, our ministry is also providing support for training as well as financial in Silambam, Kalaripayattu, Malkambu, Gatka, etc. Thank you, madam.
Shrimati Uma Shankari.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, what steps have been taken by the government in national level to develop the sportsmanship and the details of the financial assistance which have been provided by the government in such events? Thank you, Madam.
Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, under the sports component of EBSB, that is the 8 Bharat Shrestha Bharat program of the government, our ministry conducted 36 EBSB championship events at 19 venues across the country through the concerned National Sports Federation 2019-20. Approximately 2,250 sports persons were participated in these events. But after the outbreak of COVID-19 pandemic in the country, these events were put on hold during the last 2 years. However, these events have been restarted recently this year. And also, our ministry provides financial assistance through its various schemes as mentioned. For example, a total of 283 athletes have been identified in the disciplines of Kalaripayattu, Silambam and Gatka who have been provided a after-pocket allowance 10,000 rupees per month under the promotion of rural and indigenous sports. Thank you, madam.
No more supplementary, please. Question number 103, Shri Darun Punraj.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, whether the government has taken awareness of the increasing instances of cyber harassment and impersonation of women on social media. If so, the details of the actions taken on culprits. Thank you, Madam.
Minister of Electronics and Information Technology, Srimati Namisha, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, let me bring to the attention of the House. Our government is well aware of the increasing instances of cyber harassment and impersonation of women. We have taken various legal, technical and administrative measures to curb the incidence of cyber security against women. These measures include setting up of cyber police station and cybercrime cell in each state across the country. I would like to add that the greatest advantage of an attacker is the ignorance of the people who have been attacked. Hence, our government has taken several steps to create cyber awareness and cyber security for women in both public and private sectors. One such example is giving people awareness about the reverse image search in Google, where people can check if their photo was used somewhere else or not. We have also issued orders to the states and union territories to take prime responsibility for the detection, investigation and prosecution of crime through law enforcement agencies. The law enforcement agencies take legal action as per the Provision for Law Against Person involved in misuse of social media for impersonation of women and cyber harassment. Thank you, Madam.
Shri Darun Punraj, do you have any supplementary?
Yes, Madam. Whether the government has developed a portal and helpline where women can register their complaints against cyber harassment and impersonation. If so, the details thereof. Thank you, Madam.
Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, in order to make the internet safe, the Ministry of Home Affairs operates a national cybercrime reporting portal to enable citizens to report complaints pertaining to all type of cybercrime with special focus on cybercrime against women and children since August 2019. A toll-free helpline number 1930 has been operationalized to get assistance in lodging online cyber complaints. And above all, we are taking necessary steps to rectify this issue, madam. Thank you.
Srimati Shri Shivanangai.
Madam Speaker, whether the government has taken any steps to popularize these helplines in order to reach the public. If so, the details thereof. Thank you, Madam.
Minister, please.
Madam Speaker, to spread awareness about the portal and toll-free helpline number, our government has taken several steps that includes awareness through SMSs. Indian Cybercrime Coordination Centers has been installed to check social media accounts such as Twitter, Instagram, Facebook and Telegram. And not only this, several radio campaigns and advertisements through multiple medias focusing on cyber security and security awareness has been already initiated in various states and union territories. In fact, the cases have been reduced if you make a comparative analysis with the previous years. Thank you, madam.
No more supplementary, please. Question number 104, Srimati Amelia.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, the use of drugs among Indian school children is a rising concern. The recently released reports in various leading newspapers show that 1 in every 5 school-going children is affected by it. What initiative has the government taken against this rising concern? Thank you, Madam.
Minister of Home Affairs, Srimati Shri Shivahini, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, to intensify campaigns against drugs and substance abuse in the country, the ministry has launched Nasha Mukt Bharat Abhiyan with an aim to create awareness about ill effects of substance abuse among the youth, with specially focus on school-going children. Action plan has been initiated in order to lead a youth movement across the nation, wherein campaigns and awareness drives by the students itself will be launched. Whereas for those who are already in the trap of this problem, can contact toll-free helplines for tele-counseling, and directing them to de-addicting centers are being proposed, which will be functioning under Narcotics Control Bureau. Madam Speaker, our government is fully aware of this rising concern among the younger generation of our country. I request states and union territories to come forward beyond their party lines. I repeat, beyond their party lines, and extend their support in curbing out this menace out of India. Thank you, madam.
Srimati Amelia, do you have any supplementary?
जी हाँ महोदया, क्या सरकार का नशीले पदार्थों की तस्करी के नेटवर्क की जांच के लिए ठोस कदम उठाने का विचार है और नशीले पदार्थों की तस्करी को रोकने के लिए पड़ोसी देशों के साथ कोई संयुक्त प्रयास किया जा रहा है, और यदि हाँ तो इसके संबंध में क्या विवरण है? धन्यवाद महोदया.
Minister, please.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदया जी, मादक पदार्थों की तस्करी को रोकने के लिए सरकार द्वारा किए गए उपायों में आयात और निर्यात बिंदुओं पर सख्त निगरानी प्रचार शामिल है. राज्यों में उनके मादक द्रव्य विरोधी इकाइयों को मजबूत करने के लिए सरकार ने आर्थिक सहायता प्रदान की गई है. मादक पदार्थों की तस्करी को रोकने के लिए सरकार ने पड़ोसी देशों के साथ किए गए संयुक्त प्रयासों में निम्नलिखित बिंदुएं शामिल हैं. 1. सूचना के आदान प्रदान और खोजी सहायता में अंतर्राष्ट्रीय सहयोग में वृद्धि. 2. भारत ने पाकिस्तान, नेपाल, भूटान, अफगानिस्तान और बांग्लादेश के साथ नशीली दवाओं के संबंधित मामलों पर द्विपक्षीय समझौता पर हस्ताक्षर किए हैं. धन्यवाद महोदया जी.
No more supplementary, please. The question hour is over. Now, the 0 hour begins. Shri Atul Krishna.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, repeated cloudburst incidents in the upper areas of northern states of India have put people in panic. The Uttarakhand Himalaya is one of the most fragile landscape and prone to geohydrological cloudburst. The Amarnath incident is one such case of it where 16 people were killed and 3 dozens of people were injured. Not only this, if I talk about the recent incident of Himachal Pradesh, the overall vulnerability of the state on the basis of mattress clearly suggests that the district of Chamba, Kulu and parts of Kagra and Shimla fall in the status of very high vulnerable risk. I repeat, very high vulnerable risk. Whether the ministry is enjoying the flood while the people are suffering.
Boss, please maintain the decorum of the house.
What steps have been taken by the government to tackle this situation? Thank you, madam.
Honorable Prime Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, according to India Meteorological Department, it is very difficult to predict cloudbursts due to its very small scale in space and time. But Doppler radar are very helpful to nowcast, which means forecasting few hours before the event. Thus, we are planning to install Doppler radar where cloudbursts are common. One such example is the installation of Doppler weather radar at Surkunda Devi in Uttarakhand. Installation of these Doppler weather radar is expected to be done by December 2022. Thank you, madam.
Srimati Rachana.
Talked upon during pandemic has now become a serious matter of discussion. Federation of Medical and Scientific Association is a body of medical representatives pointed that pharma company that made Dolo has spent rupees 1,000 crores in form of freebies. I repeat, in form of freebies to doctors and medical professionals as incentives to prescribe Dolo 650. The market price upon 500 milligram is regulated under price control mechanism of the government. However, the dosage beyond 500 milligram can be priced at the will of manufacturers and the bids to increase profit. Freebies were given to doctors to get them prescribed Dolo 650, which is an irrational dosage. The Central Board of Direct Taxation accused the makers of Dolo 650 for indulging in such kind of unethical practices. Thus, Dolo 650, which became the go-to fever drug during the pandemic, is not music to my ears, especially after these revealings. Thank you, madam.
Honorable Prime Minister.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, the government is well aware that giving freebies is a serious matter of concern. In fact, our government has appointed a committee to examine the plea reported by FMRI. Not only this, an action plan for setting up a uniform code of pharmaceutical marketing practices is also planned to curb the alleged unethical practices of pharma companies. Moreover, an effective monitoring mechanism for its transparency and accountability will be set up. Thank you, madam.
Now, the 0 hour is over.
Honorable Speaker, madam, our Union Aviation Ministry issued a circular on September 2021 to all the airlines to follow the protocol when an MP travels. The Air India, which is under the ownership of Tata Group, denied me a ticket. So, I had to depend upon Singapore Airlines for the same. This is a gross violation of our privilege. So, madam, I request you to allow me to raise the question on this matter now. Thank you, madam.
Have you given a notice regarding this?
Yes, ma'am, I have given it in the morning.
Well, it will be examined when it comes to me. I shall consider it and let you know my decisions.
Thank you, madam.
Papers to be laid on the table by ministers. Secretary General, please.
I request the Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment to lay the annual report of the year 2021-22.
Honorable Minister of Labour and Employment.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I beg to lay on the table a copy each in English and Hindi of the following papers. A. The payment of bonus rules 2021, published on notification number GSR 58E in Gazette of India, dated 29 January 2021. B. Review by the government on the working of the above council. C. Statements giving reason for the delay in laying the papers mentioned as above. Thank you, Madam.
I request the Honorable Minister of External Affairs to lay the annual report of the year 2021-22.
Honorable Minister of External Affairs.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I beg to lay on your table a copy each in English and Hindi of the following papers. A. Review by the government on registration of marriage of non-resident Indian Bill 2022.
B. Statement by the government accepting the above report. C. Statement giving reasons for delay in laying the papers mentioned at above. Thank you, Madam.
Secretary General to report message from Upper Chamber of Youth Parliament.
Ma'am, I have to report the following message received from the Secretary General of the Upper Chamber. I am directed to inform the Youth Parliament that the Indian Undertaking Bill 2022 has been passed by the Upper House at its sitting held on 22nd July 2022.
Secretary to lay on the table of the House that the Indian Antarctic Bill 2022 as passed by the Upper Chamber.
Ma'am, I lay on the table of the House the bill as passed by the Upper Chamber.
Honorable members, on the stage of proceedings, I have to make an announcement. On my behalf and behalf of honorable members of the House, I have a great pleasure in extending a warm welcome to His Excellency Mr. Spernica Bass, Speaker of Parliament, Republic of Mozambique, who is on a visit to India as our honored guest. The other honorable members of the delegations are Dr. Ignacio Cassis, Mr. Moon Jain. They are now seated in the special box. We wish them a happy and a fruitful stay in our country. We also convey our best wishes and warm greetings to the President, Parliament and friendly people of Mozambique. Now, the House will take up calling attention motion. Srimati Shri Shivanangai, Srimati Abhisha, Srimati Shri Punvarsha, Srimati Shri Vashiha and Srimati Latika to call the attention of Minister of Health and Family Welfare. Srimati Shri Shivanangai, please.
Madam Speaker, we all are very much aware of the fact that monkeypox outbreak is spreading globally. In India, 11 people were tested positive, taking the country's tally to 11. WHO has also announced monkeypox as a public health emergency of international concern. I would like to ask, what precautionary measures have been taken by the government to control this outbreak so that it doesn't become another version of COVID-19? Thank you, Madam.
Minister of Health and Family Welfare, Srimati Smriti Janaki, please.
Madam Speaker, monkeypox is a viral zoonotic disease. That is an infectious disease transmitted by animals to humans through pathogens like bacteria, virus and other parasites. Monkeypox has symptoms similar to smallpox, although with less clinical severity. In 2021, a case of monkeypox was found in an US resident who has traveled from Nigeria to the United States. Then 2022 brought outbreaks to regions outside of Africa, including Europe, America and Australia. So far, more than 35,000 cases have been reported in foreign countries. While in India, only 11 cases are reported. And I would also like to state that most of these are travel-related cases being brought into India by passengers from affected countries. Now, to have this situation under control, our ministry has implemented the following precautionary measures to prevent the outbreak of monkeypox. 1. Surveillance and rapid identification of new monkeypox, which will detect the sources of infection as soon as possible. 2. Isolating people who were tested monkeypox positive to prevent further transmission. 3. To provide optimal clinical care to those who are affected by the virus. And the 4th step is the most important one. Raising awareness and educating people about the measures they can take to reduce exposure to the virus. With all these measures, we are sure that we can prevent further outbreak of the virus in our country. I bring it to the notice of this House that the disease in our country is totally under control. I have been personally reviewing and keeping a track of the situation on a regular basis. Let me assure the House and the public that the government is fully geared up to fight the situation. Thank you, Madam.
Srimati Abhisha.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, the last 2 years have been incredibly challenging with the COVID-19 pandemic. It changed the way of living so much. Now just as we are starting to ease back regular life, we are hearing a lot about monkeypox as an emerging threat. But the minister assured that the government is
fully ready to have the situation under control. But we know that the public plays a major role in country spread of the disease. Can the government control this outbreak without common man's help and cooperation? Of course not. Whether the ministry issued any set of guidelines which can be followed by the public to control this outbreak? Thank you, madam.
Minister, please.
Madam Speaker, I humbly ask Srimati Abisha to come out of her dreamland and spend some time daily to read the newspaper and to know the happenings around the world instead of wasting her time by criticizing the government. Madam Speaker, our ministry has already, I repeat, we have already released a set of guidelines on the management of monkeypox, which includes information on IPC, that is Infection Prevention Control, and the use of personal protective equipment. The guideline stresses on 1. Surveillance and rapid identification of new cases. 2. The risk of human to human, animal to human, and animal to animal transmission. 3. Patient isolation and additional precautions that need to be taken care of. And 4. The duration of isolation procedures. Not only this, all the clinical specimens shall be transported to the Apex lab of ICMR NIV in Pune through the integrated disease surveillance program of the respective states. We have informed all the states to deploy strict screening protocols. We have informed health officials to remain on alert and arrange isolation beds in all hospitals. These are the guidelines issued by the government to the public and health officials, and we hope to get full cooperation from them. Thank you, madam.
Srimati Shri Pon Varsha.
Honorable Speaker, madam, as we all know, Germany and Spain already started vaccination drive against monkeypox. But in India, as far as we know, still the government has not initiated any plan for such vaccination drive. I think our ministry has some super powers or magical powers to prevent and cure this disease.
Members, please maintain the decorum of the house.
I would like to ask the Minister of Health and Family Welfare what assessment have been made for the vaccination options to prevent the spread of monkeypox. Thank you, madam.
Minister, please.
Madam Speaker, the current outbreak is due to the less severe West African clade of monkeypox. So, monkeypox does not need mass vaccination program as it does not spread easily between people. We are planning targeted vaccination like ring vaccination. That is, vaccinating a ring of people around an infected person, which could be effective in curbing the disease. Not only this, the second and third generation vaccines against smallpox are proved to be effective against monkeypox. So, those who received smallpox vaccines automatically possess 85% protection against monkeypox. Moreover, the Serum Institute of India is willing to spend its funds to import a few million doses of Danish smallpox vaccines, which can be used to treat cases if there is a larger breakout of the infection in India. Thus, I can assure that our government is going for a vaccine that has good safety record. I repeat, a good safety record. Thank you, madam.
श्रीमती श्रीवाशिहा.
रोगों के नाम सुन रहे हैं, पहले स्मॉल पॉक्स, फिर चिकन पॉक्स और अब मंकी पॉक्स. ऐसा लगता है कि मानो मैं किसी होटल में बैठकर मेहनत काट पड़ रही हूँ.
Members, please maintain the decorum of the house.
महोदया, क्या स्वास्थ्य और परिवार कल्याण मंत्री हमें बता सकते हैं कि इन बीमारियों के बीच में क्या अंतर है और मानक संचालन प्रक्रिया के द्वारा मंकी पॉक्स को रोकने के लिए कौन से प्रयास किए जा रहे हैं? धन्यवाद महोदया जी.
मिनिस्टर, प्लीज.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय जी, मुझे आश्चर्य है कि हमारे सांसद श्रीमती श्रीवर्षिहा ने रोगों की तुलना होटल के मेनू कार्ड से की है. हम यहाँ जनता द्वारा चुने जाने के बाद देश के विकास के बारे में चर्चा करने के लिए आए हैं, ना कि बीमारियों पर बेहुदा मजाक बनाने के लिए. महोदय, चेचक वाले लोगों की तुलना में मंकी पॉक्स वाले लोगों में लिम्फ नोड्स में सूजन होने वाले की संभावना अधिक होती है. और अब जनता को दी गई एसओपी का कहना है संक्रमित लोगों और जानवरों से दूर रहना, साबुन और पानी से हाथ धोना, मास्क पहनना और बार बार छुए जाने वाले सतहों को कीटाणु रहित करना और संक्रमित लोगों और जानवरों की देखभाल करते समय व्यक्तिगत सुरक्षा उपकरणों का उपयोग करना। मैं अपने देश के सभी लोगों को इन एसओपी को सख्ती से पालन करने का अनुरोध करती हूँ। धन्यवाद महोदया जी।
श्रीमती लतिका।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय जी, हाल ही में हमारे पूरे देश ने कोविड-19 के तहत कोवैक्सीन या कोविशील्ड के लिए टीकाकरण लिया है, जो एक सामूहिक टीकाकरण कार्यक्रम के अंतर्गत किया गया था। अब कुछ समय के भीतर क्या हम तुरंत मंकी पॉक्स का टीका लगवाएं? स्वास्थ्य और परिवार कल्याण मंत्री, कृपया आप हमें यह बता सकते क्या मंकी पॉक्स का टीका लेने से शरीर में कोई दुष्प्रभाव होगा? धन्यवाद महोदय जी।
मिनिस्टर प्लीज।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदया जी, हमारी सरकार विशेषज्ञों से उचित परामर्श के बिना कोई निर्णय नहीं लेगी, विशेष रूप से जनता के कल्याण और स्वास्थ्य के मामले में। हम जानते हैं कि कोविड-19 के लिए सामूहिक टीकाकरण के बाद अब कुछ ही समय बीता है, इसलिए कई शोधों और परामर्श के बाद हम आखिरकार इस निष्कर्ष पर आए हैं कि वैज्ञानिक रूप से सिद्ध है, यदि हम कोविड-19 के टीके के बाद मंकी पॉक्स का टीका लगवाते हैं तो उसका कोई दुष्प्रभाव नहीं होगा। ये पूरी तरह से सुरक्षित है और घबराने का कोई बात नहीं है। मुझे उम्मीद है कि पूरा सदन इस स्थिति को सामना करने के लिए हमारा साथ खड़ा होगा। धन्यवाद महोदया जी।
Now, the House will take up legislative business. Minister of Finance, Shri Harshavardhan, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I beg to move for leave to introduce the Chit Fund Amendment Bill 2022.
The question is, the leave is granted to introduce Chit Fund Amendment Bill 2022. Those who are in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those who are against it will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The leave is granted.
Madam, I introduce the Chit Fund Amendment Bill 2022.
Now, the House will take up Wildlife Protection Amendment Bill 2022 into consideration. Minister of Environment, Forests and Climate Change, Srimati Sajisha, please.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदया, मैं वाइल्ड लाइफ प्रोटेक्शन एक्ट 1972 को संशोधनों के साथ इस सदन में लेकर के आए हूँ। हम सब इस बात से भली भांति परिचित है कि भारत सरकार के माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के नेतृत्व में देश के वन्य जीवों को संरक्षण के लिए और उसके साथ ही साथ देश की वन संपदा और जैव विविधता के संरक्षण के लिए पूरे तरीके से प्रतिबद्ध है। So, Madam Speaker, here are the key features which are proposed for this amendment. Clause 1. Implementing provisions of CITES. CITES is an international agreement between governments to ensure that the international trade of wild animals and plants do not threaten their survival. It requires countries to regulate the trade of all listed specimens through permit and regulate the possession of live animal specimens. Thus, this bill seeks to implement these provisions of CITES. Clause 2. Rationalizing schedules. Currently, the Act has 6 schedules. The bill has rationalized the number of schedules from 6 to 4 by placing the species that will enjoy the highest level of protection under Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 for species that will be subjected to a lesser degree of protection, and Schedule 3 that covers plants, and Schedule 4 for vermin species. It inserts a new schedule for specimens listed in appendices under CITES. Clause 3. Obligations under CITES. The bill provides for the central government to designate a management authority which grants export or import permits for the trade of specimens, and a scientific authority which gives advice on the survival of the specimens being traded. Clause 4. Invasive alien species. The bill empowers the central government to regulate or prohibit the trade, import, possession and proliferation of invasive alien species. Clause 5. Rationalizing schedules. Currently, the Act has 6 schedules. The bill has rationalized the number of schedules from 6 to 4 by placing the species that will enjoy the highest level of protection under Schedule 1 and Schedule 2 for species that will be subjected to a lesser degree of protection under Schedule 3 and Schedule 3 that covers plants and Schedule 4 for vermin species. Clause 6. Community reserve. Under the Act, the state governments are given full power to declare areas adjacent to national parks, sanctuaries and zoos as a community reserve which is owned by an individual for protecting the wildlife species. Clause 7. Penalties. The bill prescribes imprisonment terms and fines for the violations of the provisions of the Act. Under general violation, the bill has increased the fine amount from rupees 25,000 to rupees 1 lakh. Under the violation of specially protected animals, the bill has increased the fine amount from rupees 10,000 to 25,000. Clause 8. Clause 8. Surrender of captive animals. The bill provides for any person to voluntarily surrender any captive animals or animal products to the Chief Wildlife Warden. No compensation will be paid for such surrendering because those items become the products of the state government. So, Madam Speaker, I am confident that all the honorable members of this House, irrespective of their party affiliation, will wholeheartedly welcome this bill. Through this bill, to ensure the survival of the wildlife species. With these words, now I move that the Wildlife Protection Amendment Bill 2022 to be taken into consideration. Thank you, Madam.
The motion is adopted that the bill to provide ecological and environmental security of the country, Wildlife Protection Amendment Bill 2022 to be taken into consideration. Shrimati Sopanika.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदया जी, मैं इस बिल का समर्थन करती हूँ। हम सभी जानते हैं कि चीता एक मांसाहारी जीव है जो भारत से पूरी तरह समाप्त हो गई है। इसका मुख्य कारण है अधिक शिकार और प्राकृतिक वास का नुकसान। भारत और नामीबिया ने चीतों के पुनरुत्पादन के लिए एक महत्वपूर्ण समझौता ज्ञापन पर हस्ताक्षर किया है, जो 1952 में हमारे देश से समाप्त घोषित किया गया था। यह समझौता हमारी सरकार द्वारा पारिस्थितिक संतुलन के प्रति देखभाल को दर्शाता है। चीतों का सफल पुनर्वास कई अन्य प्रजातियों के लिए आशा का विषय बन जाता है, जो समाप्त होने के हद पर है। अब हमें नए निवासियों का स्वागत करने में बहुत खुशी हो रही है। यह बिल वास्तविक अर्थों में अपनी प्रभावशीलता साबित करेगा, इसीलिए मैं इस बिल का समर्थन करती हूँ। धन्यवाद महोदया जी।
Leader of Opposition, please.
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदय जी, भारत में विदेशी जानवरों की दुरुपयोग की कई मामलों का हवाला देते हुए स्वतंत्रता विशेषज्ञों ने यह सुझाव दी कि साइटीज के तहत वन्य प्रजातियों का भी दुरुपयोग से सुरक्षा की आवश्यकता है। इस बिल को पारित करने हेतु हम चिंतित हैं। कृपया स्पष्ट करें कि क्या यह समस्या की निरंतरता को संबोधित कर रहा है। एक और चिंता का विषय यह है कि अर्थ गुमंतु नामक देहाती समुदाय जो उनकी आजीविका की खोज में जंगल में मौसमी प्रवास का अभ्यास करना जारी रखता है, वह निश्चित ही प्रभावित होगा, क्योंकि ये क्षेत्र संरक्षित क्षेत्रों की श्रेणी में आ जाएंगी। इसलिए मेरा यह सुझाव है कि देहाती समुदाय को उनकी प्रवास के लिए प्रावधान उपलब्ध कराया जा सके, जिससे कि वे एक स्थान से दूसरे पर आ जा सके। धन्यवाद महोदय।
Honorable Prime Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, we are well aware of the concerns of the Honorable Opposition Leader and we have already kept these points considered while drafting the amendment. After consultation with the experts, the Parliamentary Committee has submitted its recommendation for the bill. The Wildlife Protection Act 1972 prohibits the acquisition, possession, transfer of any wildlife species without the written permission of the Chief Wildlife Warden. The present amendment bill reinstates that the ownership certificate will be issued to the person who has the lawful authority on the captive animals listed under Schedule 1 and 2. Section 48B clearly states, No wild animals under Schedule 1 and 2 can be captured, sold, purchased, transferred and transported unless the authorized officer does not possess the lawful possession of the same. Thus, the bill seeks to 1. Implement the Convention in Endangered Species of Wild Fauna and Flora, 2. Protect native Indian species, and 3. Improve the enforcement of the law. I consider that this would help us to maintain the ecological balance and protect various species of flora and fauna which the Mother Nature has blessed us with. Thank you, Madam.
Srimati Daya.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I am wholeheartedly supporting the bill. The goal of wildlife conservation is to ensure survival of species and educate people on living sustainably with other species. Because conserving wildlife means conserving heritage and tradition. Not only this, it even attracts tourists and increases the revenue of our country. If conservation measures are not put in place, it will be a great threat to humans. And Madam, most of the other advantages are already discussed in the August gathering. This is my submission, ma'am. Thank you.
Srimati Diya Deepak.
Us to preserve human life on earth. But the conflict between wild animal and human is very common in my constituency, and it is unfortunate to state that several people lost their life in this wild animal attack. While looking at the human casualties, it is seen that the animals like elephants, boars and bears have killed more than thousands of people in the last few years. Odisha accounted the highest number of human deaths, followed by Jharkhand and many other states. So I want to point out here that when we introduce such amendment, the protection and safety of human beings should also be discussed and included. In fact, the number of animals in the wild has increased to such an extent that they come out of the forest limits, settlements and fields of farmers. This leads to the destruction of animals by humans. Hence, I request to include measures to address human-animal conflict and compensation to the human victims in this amendment bill. Thank you, Madam.
Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, I consider it to be my duty to thank all the honorable members of this House who have offered their hearty welcome to this bill, and thank all the members who have given their valuable suggestions. All your positive criticisms and valuable suggestions are welcome. With these words, now I wanted the House to pass the Wildlife Protection Amendment Bill 2022. Thank you, Madam.
The question is that the bill to provide ecological and environmental security of the country. Wildlife Protection Amendment Bill 2022 to be taken into consideration. Those who are in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those who are against it will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted. Now, the question is, clause 1 to 8 stand part of the bill. Those who are in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those who are against it will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. Minister, please.
Madam Speaker, Wildlife Protection Amendment Bill 2022 to be passed.
The question is, Wildlife Protection Amendment Bill 2022 to be passed. Those who are in favor will please say aye. Aye. Those who are against it will please say no. I think the ayes have it, the ayes have it, the ayes have it. The motion is adopted that the bill is passed. Now, the House will take up private member resolution bill. Srimati Mackenzie M. Stephen.
Madam, I move the following resolution. This House recommends that the government should take effective measures to amend the Maintenance and Welfare of Parents and Senior Citizens Amendment Bill 2022. First, for the removal of ambiguity in the suggestions proposed by the Maintenance Tribunal with regard to eviction of children by the parents, a uniform law shall be established in all states in the cases where children are failing to take care of their parents. Second, the central and state government must take measures to create more age-friendly environment
transportation, and other public facilities. Third, a 24/7 helpline services for the safety and security of senior citizens is required. Fourth, to provide details of certifications that need to be taken care of while hiring caregivers in all institutions which provide home care services to the senior citizens. Thank you, Madam.
श्रीमती रितिका कुमारी।
आदरणीय अध्यक्ष महोदय, जैसा कि हम सब जानते हैं, हेल्थ पेज और अन्य प्रदान करने वाली संस्थाएं हर दिन बुजुर्ग नागरिकों से ऐसी कॉल प्राप्त कर रही है जिससे किसी का भी दिल दहल जाए। लेकिन दुख की बात यह भी है कि दुर्व्यवहार सहने वाले लोग शिकायत दर्ज करने से हिचकिचाते हैं। प्रतिशोध का डर इतना है कि वे इसकी सूचना तक नहीं देते, और इस बात से भी तो इनकार नहीं किया जा सकता है कि बहुत से लोगों को इस कानून की जानकारी ही नहीं है जो बुजुर्ग नागरिकों को दुर्व्यवहार और आत्महत्या से बचाता है। धन्यवाद महोदय।
मिनिस्टर ऑफ सोशल जस्टिस एंड एम्पावरमेंट श्रीमती तेजा, प्लीज।
माननीय अध्यक्ष महोदया जी, मैं अपने प्रिय सदस्य से यह कहना चाहती हूं कि हमारी सरकार अपने देश के वरिष्ठ नागरिकों के साथ हो रहे अत्याचार से बहुत चिंतित है। हमारी सरकार माता पिता और वरिष्ठ नागरिकों की भरण पोषण और कल्याण के लिए संशोधन विधेयक 2022 का कानून लागू किया गया है। मैडम स्पीकर, various provisions are made in the Amendment Bill 2022. First, expand the scope of Act by modifying the definitions of children, parents, maintenance, welfare and senior citizens to enable parents and senior citizens to lead a life of dignity. Second, maintenance amount. The Act provides the state government to constitute maintenance tribunal to decide on the monthly amount payable by children to their parents. The bill removes the upper limit of ₹10,000 as monthly maintenance amount. Children and relatives must pay maintenance amount within 15 days of the order, instead of 30 days as mentioned earlier. Third, there is an amendment about appeal. Earlier, parent or senior citizens can appeal the decisions of the tribunal. It is now amended that children and relatives can also appeal decisions of the tribunal. Fourth, abandonment or abuse of parent or senior citizens. The Act provides stringent punishments to those who abuse or abandon parent or senior citizens. They are punishable with imprisonment between 3 or 6 months or fine up to ₹10,000 or both. Fifth, police protection. Every police station must have at least one officer, not below the rank of assistant sub-inspector, to deal with the issues related to parent and senior citizens. Madam Speaker, the bill seeks to remove the above objectives and attempts to inculcate in the younger generation a moral duty to take care of one's parent and senior citizens. Thank you, Madam.
Shri Nityanand.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, for your kind information, our ministry is planning to provide job opportunities for senior citizens who are healthy and willing to work. Thank you, Madam.
Shri Sudan.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, when 33% of skilled youths are unemployed, our government is planning to give job opportunities to senior citizens who are at the ages of 60s and 70s. What a great idea our government is having.
Members, please maintain the decorum of the House. Minister, please.
Honorable Speaker, Madam, our minister assures the House that the state government will prescribe a comprehensive action plan to protect the life and property of senior citizens. Madam, through you, I request Srimati Mackenzie M. Stephen to withdraw her resolution. Thank you, Madam.
Srimati Mackenzie M. Stephen.
Madam, I am grateful to the honorable members for lending support to my resolution. In view of assurance given by the honorable minister, and since the government is already working to deal with this problem, I hope that the government would take effective measures to protect the senior citizens of our country. Therefore, I may be allowed to withdraw my resolution.
Has the honorable member withdraw her resolution? Yes. The resolution by the leave of the House is withdrawn. Now, the House is adjourned to meet again tomorrow at 11 a.m.
The third position of this competition, the 33rd Regional Women Youth Parliament Competition 2022-23 goes to KV Island Group. And the second position goes to KV Nagercoil. And the first position goes to KV HPM.